All right, guys, as of the recording of this video, Planet Zoo on New Year's Eve 2023 is Frontier's most played game right now. At 2 p.m., there are 6,000 of you in game. Let's have a chat about that. All right, guys, even if we think that Frontier didn't start actually developing Planet Zoo prior to Planet Coaster's release in 2016, and I'm thinking it was probably before that, like at least pre-production, earlier planning of it probably started 2015-ish, maybe even earlier than that. But let's just say that full-on Planet Zoo production started once Planet Coaster got released. Let's just say a lot of the Planet Coaster team, once that was launched, made their way over to the Planet Zoo team. So you're thinking 2016, so 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 7 year, 2024 here in about 12 hours. Planet Zoo has been being developed for 8 years minimum. If they only started developing it in 2016 and released in 2019. So we're talking almost, 8 years in development, I would think, at the minimum. So that leads us kind of to our title. What is left? Like what teams are put on this? Is it a skeleton crew now? Because you have to remember, a lot of us, we were thinking Leaf and Beyond Drew and Nick and I were having conversations about Planet Zoo possibly having a skeleton crew like in 2020, 2021. Like we were thinking that development, like the hardcore Planet Zoo development was over, and they were shifting teams and shifting priorities to other titles. Not meaning like the development is over, but we meant like launch development was over. It was out the door. It was rolling. Of course, there were still probably larger teams working on some of the new themes and animals and packs, but it probably wasn't as many people as, say, 2016, 2017, when they were really trying to, nail down the scope of their game and everything that goes into making a game. But surely, I heard people mention in 2021, 2022, that the scope of the Planet Zoo team had undoubtedly, shrunk by now. We don't know. We're assuming, with kind of the other stuff that they had going on, that role on the Planet Zoo Frontier side of things had probably shrunk a bit from the 2017, 2018 years. But they have somehow managed to really good, I don't want to say like overwhelming satisfaction, because everybody knows, just like any game, there's a lot of things that people still want. There's a lot of things still on the meta wish list that people want. I don't really know what you would say as far as themes go that you could really want. I'm sure there's some nitpicky things out there that you could probably feel you could use, but the community as a whole, we just figure that, like, as far as themes go, we have been taken care of very properly. And even animal wise, it's getting to the point where some of us, it seems like to me, kind of like not a hardcore zoo nerd, that a lot of the animals that have been on people's radar and, that have really been on the top of the wish lists and the top of the priority, a lot of those animals have been taken care of. So going into 2024, like we mentioned here in just a few hours, what could be left? What do you think? I know a lot of times I'll ask that question and you guys absolutely just smash it in the comments with, well, for one, they could start with this, this, and this, which have not been added in 8 years. So I know you guys will kind of let me know down below. And that was kind of the point of this video. I didn't want to make a video to where we're like, guys, stop getting your hopes up. Planet Zoo's dead. I don't want to hear any more about it. This game is done. I really think it's like a 70-30 toss-up right now, meaning 70% of me thinks that no, there's still a lot of stuff they could do. You know, they could go on. Look, just think how long they could go on with animals. But I'm talking about what, at this point, what could be added to gameplay that would keep this big influx of a community going, and more particularly keep DLC revenue coming. Now we know Planet Zoo was a smash hit for Frontier to this day, still selling very, very well. And we've not even talked about console release yet. And that's why I think a lot of the Planet Coaster people, and maybe rightfully so, have a reason to be kind of like as salty as they are, just because Planet Zoo just has really just hit the ground running over the last, 5 years, since we've had, since the release. And the way that they have just chugged away at this and chipped away and kept, molding the game and adding in different features and hitting these animal wish lists. It's really been an example of Frontier not fumbling the ball. We know Frontier, it's kind of like Frontier. A lot of times they'll take the road of, we know what's best for our players. And sometimes it's not necessarily what's best for us or what we've been asking for, but they have a way to tweak it to where they give us something that we've not asked for, but we end up loving it anyway. Like, they're really fine-tuned into giving us stuff that we didn't even know we needed, if that sentence makes sense. Frontier are the masters at giving you what you didn't even know you wanted until you load this up and you're like, oh crap, man, they did this. This is freaking awesome. This pack is awesome. Now, we'll have to say, it does seem like the Eurasia Animal Pack, even when we mentioned it in one of our kind of like our more recent rant videos, kind of seems like a little bit of a throwaway pack, meaning it was kind of something a lot of us weren't necessarily asking for, and it was okay-ish, but didn't really hit that big button of like, community spread hype and excitement. It was one of those ones where it was cool. Like a lot of people love the animals in that. The swan, a huge hit. But it was just one of those things where it was like, okay, it was a nice little animal pack, nothing earth-shattering, but what do you got next? What are you working on? And that is kind of where we've come to this really, really weird crossroads, I think, as a zoo community. What really does come next? Like, are you ready to accept that Planet Zoo is over? Like, it's really like we are living on borrowed time right now? Or are you on the flip side, half glass full type of people, thinking, no, there's still a lot left to go? I am like half just pass me the glass and we'll kind of see how it goes from there. I really don't know what kind of direction to lead you guys on. I know it's still a very, very fun title. As you can see, you can Google it right now, Planet Zoo Steam database. There are 6,000 people sitting at home right now, building on their zoos, expanding habitats, possibly buying DLCs, making decisions on what DLCs they want to try. Like I said, commercial success for Frontier. And then, the exciting part is too, we know that 3 more of these type of games are coming in the vein of Planet Zoo, Planet Coaster. We don't know what they are yet, but I think that hopefully after this very, very tumultuous year that Frontier had, they're reading the writing on the wall and they're saying we need to stick with what we know and what we're good at. And I just think that I don't know, like, as far as going into 2024, 25, these new games being developed, these 3 new creative management sims games being developed, where does that leave Planet Zoo? I think you've got a couple issues in the vein of manpower, resources, how much, obviously we can't see the sales figures, but they can, and they look at this stuff and they're like, okay, well, it's going to cost us X to keep continuing developing packs for Planet Zoo. Let's bring up the data and look at how much, say, the last 3 packs brought us in. So simple math, if if they are running a slimmer development team, like we assume they are, is what they're costing to develop these new packs, are they making money on that development? I think that's the simplest thing we need to ask ourselves. Take away your emotion, take away what you think the game still needs, take all your personal biases out, put your business cap on, and ask yourself, if I was running this business and I was running this company and we're looking at these numbers, does it make sense? Are we losing money by continuing developing Planet Zoo? And particularly without console yet, which if history's any indication with Frontier, when that console pack, like when console is announced, development kind of stops, new development. Like, as far as if we're taking this from Planet Zoo and such goes, there doesn't seem to be new development after console drops. Focus shifts over to getting it out to the consoles. And there is no more new DLC after that. But then, you kind of have the Jurassic World Evolution side of things where they, it gets released. It gets releases simultaneously. Obviously they have the knowledge and the skill to simultaneously release, builds on all platforms. But the only problem is Jurassic World Evolution 2, Jurassic World Evolution drops from the get-go on all these platforms, whereas Planet Coaster, Planet Zoo, they lag behind on PC only. So I'm sure there's a little bit of a difference there when you completely launch on console and when you develop the game for 6-7 years and then decide to bring it to Xbox, PlayStation 5. So I'm sure there's some little nuances and ins and outs on that side of development, but I don't know, guys. I think every time we make one of these videos, mentally I say, okay, when we do another one of these videos in 2 or 3 months, we'll probably have more information. We'll have more to go off of, but I mean, we kind of don't. It's kind of still of a little bit of a toss-up. I don't know, like, Planet Zoo could go on until next fall, or we could get one more spring pack and that be it. And the other bad thing about this is, does Frontier let us know when the game's been called? Do we get that closure like we didn't get for Planet Coaster? Remember, we never really got an official. They still tweet crap out. Like, we never got an official, it's over, guys, we're not actively developing this anymore. And why would they? For, that could hurt sales. We got to figure we're like, if you're watching this video, you're probably a little bit more of the hardcore crowd. If you're just releasing your game from console, I wouldn't it wouldn't make sense to come out and say we're not developing anymore on this. It's kind of in maintenance mode now, and you know, we're looking forward to seeing all of you all play this on console. Like, I don't think you would really come out as a business and say that, but some of us, like the more veteran, the hardcore consumers, kind of, once that 6 months went by, kind of saw the writing on the wall, like, well, Planet Coaster is over, bro. Like, they wouldn't make us set. That first 3 months went by, we're like, okay, well, maybe they're just kind of, you know, making sure everything goes right with the console, and maybe more DLCs will come out. Well, then when 6 months rolled by, we're like, this is it. The game's up. Planet Coaster is done. And I'm hoping the same thing doesn't happen with Planet Zoo. But from a business standpoint and trying to capture casuals, I could see it happening. They wouldn't want to come out and just say the game's over, you know, see you next time. But anyways, guys, yeah, I know that it's these videos kind of turn rambling, but I just want to throw as many points out there as I can, just to give you guys my headspace on it. And then, of course, we will follow this up in the comment section down below. But be candid. Let me know your honest thoughts. Let me know how long do you think Planet Zoo has left. Old Country actually stopped doing YouTube videos. I wish he was still making videos. He did some really good, he had some really good banter on where we think Planet Zoo sits and how much development we have left. So Old Country, if you're out there, if you're still watching these videos, throw us one together. Let us know what you think. Does Planet Zoo have any life left? And but anyways, yeah, you guys let me know your thoughts down below. And don't forget to subscribe to keep up with some of this Planet Zoo mischief that hopefully we'll hear some more about here in the next couple months. And yep, I'm S. Dan Wolf, and I'll catch you in the next video. See ya.